Guys, I'm going to show you how to create a grid-based movement system based on a tile map. All you're going to need is a tile set texture and a character texture. First, you're going to want to go to your tile set texture, create tile set. We're going to go to the tile set and we're going to set our tile size to 16 by 16, which is going to match our tile size for our tile set. We're going to save that. And then we're going to go create tile map from our tile set. Open your tile map, and then we're going to want to make sure the tile width is 16 by 16, and then we can make our map width 20 by 20. You can set it to whatever size you want. It's not really going to change anything here. Grab the fill button, just select one of these textures, fill the texture, and save. And then we're going to create a actor blueprint. We're going to call this BP underscore tile map. We're going to open the blueprint. We're going to drag it over here. We can just close this for now. Save it. And for our scene root, we're going to add a paper tile map. Just press enter, drag it on the scene root, and compile and save that. Go into the event graph, and we're going to delete these two. Now we're going to go to the event begin play, and we're going to get the get map size function for paper tile map. And this is going to give us our map width and height, and we're going to store the location of each tile in a array. So first we're going to get a for loop, grab that, and inside our for loop we're just going to grab another for loop, and this one's going to be for the width, this one's going to be for the height, 0 to 1 on, or 0 to I believe it was 24 on each of them. Well, it doesn't really matter. We can just drag the width here and the height here. And then we're going to go in here and we're going to get the we're just going to call the function get center position. And that's going to give us the center position of the tile. And it's very important that you check the world space box. It's going to make everything a whole lot easier. And we're going to store our index of our x value here, the index of our y value here, and this is going to be part of the loop body of both functions. And then here, the loop body of this function is going to be add, and we're going to want to add to array. We're going to add the value of the center position of each tile to this array. And this is going to give us a location for the step position for our character. And we're going to promote this to variable. And under new variable, we're just going to call this step positions. And we will save that there. Alright, now we need to set up our character before we can go any further. We're going to store this position basically in the character, and the character is going to know what positions it can step and which positions it can't. So we're going to go here to our character. We're going to create a sprite, and then we're going to go to our sprite, create flipbook, and we just press enter there. That's fine. Just save all, just in case you have any crashes or anything. And what we're going to want to do with this, we're going to create a blueprint class, and you want to make that blueprint class paper character. And you can save that as bpc underscore 2D character. Open that up. File. We'll just save, and then we can go to the sprite, and we can assign this as our warrior character model. We can size this. We'll just size this down to 30. We can make this 16. We can go down again to we'll just go down to 16 by 10 maybe. That should be fine. And then we're going to rotate our character just so the top-down view will be fine. Let's go for rotation around the x-axis. We'll just set this back to 0. Go 90. And so looks like this. And we can, and we'll go -90 actually on this. And then we'll take off this. We'll go down to 5. We'll just center it there. That's fine. And compile save. Then we're going to go into our event graph. We can delete these again. And we're going to go to the blueprint, create variable. This variable is going to be a vector. That's actually going to be an array of vectors. We're going to call this variable step positions player, which will work fine. And now that we have that, we can go back to our tile map and go cast to 2D, BPC 2D character. And next we're going to, well, we can't do anything yet because we haven't set a player character yet. So we're gonna have to go down to, we're gonna have to do a blueprint class, and we're gonna make a game mode. And we'll go BPC underscore 2D game mode. You can just open this and compile, save. That should be fine. BPC 2D character, compile, save. And then we'll go to edit, go to project settings, go to game mode, and set the game mode to BPC 2D game mode. Default pawn class is now your character, and we can exit out of this. Just save all to make sure, and go back to your 2D character. We can go back to the tile map actually. Get player character, which should be fine. Compile. Yep, that works. And then we're going to go set step positions player. Connect that. And we're going to set the step positions that we stored for the center of each tile into the step positions of the player, just so that we have it on the player blueprint so we don't have to constantly cast. We're actually going to disconnect this here, and we'll just do this at the end because it's easier that way on the completion, just so we don't have to keep casting to the player. It makes it a little bit more efficient. And we can compile, save, and then we'll go back to the player. We can go tile map. All right, so we'll drag the tile map out into the world. We'll just set the location to 0, 0, 0. And then we'll go to BP tile map, and we'll set our component here. We'll set this tile map to our tile set tile map. Compile, save. We can just check in the viewport to make sure it's correct. And My bad. I accidentally left something in the world from our previous tutorial. We'll just delete that. Here's our tile map, which is fine, but we're going to rotate it. Just go 90 degrees around the x-axis, which looks fine to me. And then we're going to go back into our 2D character. We're going to go on the event begin play. Actually, we can just create a spawn location first. So we're going to create a custom event. We'll call this just random location. It doesn't really matter. We can spawn them wherever we want, or we can just create a random location from the points in our matrix, and we'll just go teleport. Teleport self to destination location. We'll just go step positions player. We'll get that, and then we'll just go random. Should just get a random location from the array and put it in the destination location. We're going to actually split this because we want our character to be, above the tile map that we set so that we can actually see the character instead of him clipping with the map. And so we're going to split struct pin on each thing. And we'll go like this, plug the X and Y location, that's fine. And then the Z location will be, we'll just, we'll put it at positive, 30 or something like that. It's not a huge deal. And then we'll go to, yeah, it's not really important. We can set this into the player location, and actually that is important. So we'll set a new variable as a single vector. We'll call this new variable, we'll just call it player location. Grab this out, we'll set this, and we'll get world location. Just do the capsule component, I think that should be fine. Just plug this into the player location. File and save. And then we're going to just call this random location on start. This will just spawn our character somewhere. Alright, I forgot to add a camera to our character, so we'll go to the viewport, we'll go to components, and we will add a arm, spring arm, and then to the spring arm we will add a camera. We have our camera, and it's facing to the side of our character. We're going to take our spring arm, and we're going to rotate this, 90 degrees around the Y. Yeah, we'll go the other way, negative 90. Alright, that looks fine, and then we'll rotate our camera to match that. So we're going to rotate around the X, 90 degrees. That should be fine for now. We'll see what happens. And then you want to go spring arm. We're going to not do a collision test at all. We'll just see what happens here. Try it again. Alright, so we have gravity on our character now. We're going to want to disable that just for the sake of this tutorial. You can enable it later if that's something you want, because we don't have any collisions on our tile map, so there's no gravity, so our character just falls right through it. We'll go gravity, disable gravity, just go back to gravity. Just, we'll just set the gravity scale to 0. And now we have our character on the tile map. Now we want to flip our character around. So we're going to go back into our 2D character. We're going to go to our sprite. We're just going to rotate it 180 degrees around the y-axis. 180. We'll save that. We'll try it again. Let's go back to 0. I forgot. We could just change the camera rotation to -90. That should save it. Alright, so now we have our character in the tile map. He's right side up and all that. Now we can create the movement of our character. This is going to be simple movement just for, a simple turn-based game. What we're going to do next is go to the event graph. And so we have everything set up, and we can just grab debug key W. We'll just go debug key A. Debug key S. You can do input actions for these as well, but this will just be faster for now. And debug key D. And so what we're going to do with these is we're going to get the location of our player, and then we're going to move it, one tile to the left or the right. So on press, we're just going to go teleport again for this one. We're going to split the struct pin. We're just going to keep our Z location at 30 for all of these for clarity. And we'll go to blueprint. We'll grab our step positions. Or no, we don't need step positions here. We'll get our player's location. We'll split the struct pin once more so that we can add to the location just to move our player. And we're going to add 16 because that's our tile size. So we'll go Y plus 16. Oh, sorry. We'll just go add plus 16. That in the Y. And we'll just connect our X pin. Z pin can be left out, and then we'll just get the world location. We'll try this again, and we'll just control V, and then we'll set that into the player location as well. So we're going to do the same thing with the S component. We're just going to copy paste this. Control V, and on press, we'll just go plug this in, and we'll just switch this to the -16. I'll save. Let's try this. We'll go into our game. Alright, so now we got up and down movement. And we're going to go back into our debug keys where we'll just copy paste this again, but this time we're going to be adding to the X, and we're going to have to add rotation to flip our character to change his facing direction. You might have to do this with W and S as well if you have an up and down, sprite from your flipbook. So we'll just go debug key A, we'll delete this, just plug this into the X, go here, this is fine, plug the Y back in, and then we'll copy and paste this, Control C, Control V, you can also Control D, and we'll just change this to, so A would be -16, I think. I don't know why we have the wrong key here. Debug key D. So this should be, A would be -16, this should be +16, I believe. Might have to flip these. See what happens. Alright, yeah, we do have to flip those. We'll go -16, +16. I'll save, go back, we'll try it one more time, just make sure. Alright, we'll escape that. And then we'll go over here to the, and we're going to set the world rotation of our character. I believe it's the sprite. We'll change this to 90, 180. We'll just duplicate this. Just set, on this one, we'll just set the 180 to 0. Let's compile and save that. Let's see what happens. Alright, so we have some weird rotations. I believe it's because I set this maybe. I'll save. Not that did not do it. See. 90. So D is the one flipping it. Go back in here. Let's try this one more time. Go. Let's just check. So we're rotating around the X, it's, I believe. Alright, I don't know why it's getting the world rotation of my controller. Let's fix that. Shift F1 and we can detach the controller and we can check out what's going on with the player. Weird's going on. So he's standing upright, he got rotated around. I don't know what's going on. Let's go back here real quick. 90, 180. See if that's the one causing the problems. Shift F1 and detach just so we can look at the axis down here in the bottom. So we rotated around the, looks like we rotated around the x-axis 90, then 180. We're just setting the player rotation, so we want to keep the 90. Maybe we make it -90. 0. All right. Now it looks like we're moving properly around the map and that it is square. Just our camera is off just a little bit. I couldn't tell you why that is. Let's go back to the spring arm maybe and check the it kind of does appear flat for the most part. It's slightly vertical. But we do have grid-based movement here. Look at the modifications for this later for collisions and stuff. So you could add a collision at whatever height your character is. So you could create walls and stuff in your tile map if you want to create custom ones. And you know and your player would he would stop here if there was a collision ahead of him and you couldn't move forward anymore. So we check to see if that tile was empty essentially with the teleport command because it checks to see if it can spawn there, and if it can't spawn there, then it won't. So you'll just be stuck here. Um, yeah, so that's a grid-based movement system for based on the tile map, and it's not too complicated. We did set up our paper character as well with some movement, and that all checks out. So, um, thank you.